The episode began with the dealer counting the votes. Both Yuji and Takayoshi had voted yes, while Akiyama had already voted no earlier. Number 15's vote turned out to be yes as well, meaning there was only a single no vote. As a result, Akiyama became the winner of the game. Both Yuji and Takayoshi were left completely shocked when they realized that number 15 had been working together with Akiyama all along. By voting yes instead of no, he had betrayed them and handed victory to Akiyama. Takayoshi angrily accused him of lying, but number 15 calmly replied that the game was called the liar game for a reason, and lying was the entire point of it. Yuji then reminded him that he wanted to continue into the next stage of the game. Number 15 responded that the second round itself had already been difficult enough, so he had no desire to continue further. From the beginning, his goal had simply been to force a draw. He knew Yuji was greedy and would never accept a small amount of money, meaning he would definitely suggest another draw. Number 15 had used that greed to ensure Akiyama's victory. Now asked when the two of them had started working together, Akiyama revealed that he had called number 15 the previous night because he already suspected there were 3 separate teams in the game. After talking with number 15, he confirmed the existence of 2 teams. Then, when now informed him that player number 1 had returned to watch the results, he became certain that a 3rd team also existed. Akiyama explained that he had warned number 15 that Yuji was lying and would eventually betray him as well. If number 15 truly wanted to win, then he should cooperate with Akiyama instead. To prove his sincerity, Akiyama even handed over his own name tag as collateral. Everyone then realized that Akiyama had not been wearing his name tag at all. He had promised that if his suspicions turned out to be wrong, number 15 could use the name tag to clear his own debt. But after seeing Yuji reveal his true nature as a selfish traitor, number 15 chose to help Akiyama instead. Number 15 had also confirmed with the organizers that prize money would not be paid to anyone who did not possess their name tag. That meant Akiyama could not betray him even if he wanted to. Because of that guarantee, number 15 trusted him. At that point, Yuji finally realized he had completely lost. Akiyama also took back the 100 million check, reminding him that it had been obtained through fraud and could easily become a police matter. With that, the minority game finally came to an end, as Akiyama and now returned home, now felt happy about their victory. However, she also felt terrible for the many people who had ended up trapped under 100 million debt after losing. Akiyama told her not to think too much about it. The losers would certainly suffer, but that was not their fault. Now then asked how much money he had given to number 15. Akiyama replied that he had handed over 1.1 billion yen so number 15 could fulfill his contracts. That money allowed him to clear his teammates' 100 million debts, and even provide them with an additional 43 million each. On top of that, Akiyama had personally rewarded number 15 with another 100 million for helping him. Now then realized that only 1.05 billion remained with Akiyama. She asked whether he planned to use that money to leave the game or to fulfill his own team's contract. To her surprise, Akiyama revealed that he had no intention of leaving the game. Instead, he planned to use the remaining money to clear the debts of his own team members. Now was stunned because it sounded as though he was sacrificing himself for her and the others. However, Akiyama insisted that it was not a sacrifice. He explained that the people running the liar game were exploiting weak and desperate individuals, and he wanted to uncover the truth behind the organization. A week passed after the game ended. During that time, Now tried calling Akiyama hundreds of times every day, but he never answered. One day, her doorbell rang, and the same lawyer from before appeared. He told her that poor Akiyama had become trapped because he tried to save her. Hearing that filled Now with guilt. She even wanted to return the extra 43 million she had received. The lawyer then explained that Akiyama had helped Now because of his own dark past. When Now asked what he meant, the lawyer questioned how much she actually knew about Akiyama. She replied that she only knew he was a genius con artist. The lawyer laughed and explained that although Akiyama had spent time in prison, he had originally been an extremely talented psychology student. When Akiyama was still young, his father died in an accident, leaving all responsibility on his mother. She worked tirelessly day and night so her son could receive a proper education. Akiyama himself was an excellent student and eventually earned admission into the prestigious Taito University. However, years of overwork caused his mother's health to collapse. Akiyama begged her to stop working and even offered to quit college, but she refused. She lied to him by claiming she had already saved enough money for his education, when in reality she had no savings at all and their debts kept increasing. One day, an old friend visited Akiyama's mother and introduced her to a company called Shugru. The company supposedly offered huge amounts of money for very little effort, requiring only that she recruit new members. Desperate for help, she accepted immediately. Unfortunately, her friend had tricked her into joining a fraudulent MLM company. Without properly reading the contract, she signed it. Later, after realizing the company was a scam, she tried to quit, only to discover that the contract demanded a 10 million yen penalty fee from anyone who left. Crushed by debt and hopelessness, Akiyama's mother eventually took her own life so her son could receive the life insurance money. The lawyer explained that her downfall came from trusting people too easily. After somehow managing to complete college, Akiyama vowed to use everything he had learned to take revenge. Eventually, he succeeded in destroying that MLM company. Now had no idea that Akiyama carried such a tragic past. The lawyer explained that Akiyama saw his mother and now because she was also innocent and easily trusted others. That was why he desperately wanted to protect her at any cost, since he had failed to save his own mother. The lawyer then asked whether Now truly wanted to help Akiyama. When she agreed, he explained that there was only one way to save him. She needed to participate in the Losers Revival game, which would begin in 3 days. All the players who lost in the second game could participate. If Now won, she could use the prize money to free Akiyama from the liar game. The lawyer assured her that this would be a lower-level game filled with losers. Unlike the others, Now had no debt at all and even possessed an extra 40 million yen, which could help her win easily. Now asked whether simply having money made the game easier to win. The lawyer handed her the invitation and admitted that he probably should not say it, but he was completely certain that she would win. According to him, she was the only person capable of saving Akiyama. After saying that, he left. 3 days later, Now arrived at the new game arena to participate once again in Liar Game. The invitation had stated that participants could bring anything they wanted and should arrive fully prepared. The new game was being held inside a bowling arena. Once inside, Now encountered the same 8 people who had lost in the previous round. The dealer welcomed everyone to the Losers Revival game. Just like before, each participant received 100 million yen in the form of M-tickets, which they could freely spend during the game. The dealer then revealed the name of the new challenge, the downsizing game. Out of the 9 players present, only one person would lose, while everyone else would become winners. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Akiyama wondered why Now had suddenly stopped calling him after contacting him non-stop every day. He had no idea that she had already returned to the liar game once again. This time, however, Akiyama would not be there to help her, and with that the episode came to an end.